Level 1. Preconventional moral reasoning, the childish conscience. This is where we all begin. At this stage of development, the child judges the rightness or wrongness of an act according to its physical consequences. Johnny did the worst thing because he broke more cups than Mary. Stage 1. Fear of punishment orientation. At this stage, the child has a vague set of assumptions, an orientation, that something is good, worthwhile, and right as long as no physical punishment ensues. If she touches it and doesn't get burned, she really can't understand why Mommy says to stay away from the stove. Conversely, the child assumes that an act or omission is wrong if she gets punished for it in some concrete physical fashion, such as getting burned. If I cheat on the test, the teacher will probably catch me and punish me, so I shouldn't cheat. Or, if I don't cheat on this test, I'll flunk, so it's okay to cheat as long as I don't get caught. And if she doesn't get caught, there will be no feelings of guilt or shame because the child is obeying her conscience, primitive as it is. Indeed, if she cheats and gets away with it, she may even feel proud of herself and boast about it to her friends. At this stage of development, the person is governed not by any principle, like honesty, but by the fear of the power of some authority who might punish, a parent, a teacher. Kohlberg calls this form of moral thinking heteronymous reasoning, from hetero, meaning other, and nomos, meaning rule or law. That is, the person is governed by the rule or law or conscience of some other person, the person in authority, the parent or teacher. The child thinks, I should act honestly and not cheat because someone will punish me if I do not. Notice that it is the person in authority who may value honesty, not the child. A slogan for this stage is, might makes right. I assume I ought to obey the one who has power to punish. Now imagine this somewhat far-fetched scenario. Imagine little Jenny, in grade 2, seated in the cafeteria between two bigger grade 5 boys. Both of these boys are threatening her because she has a cupcake in her lunchbox, and both boys want it. What can she do? She's going to get it from one or the other of them, so she'll likely give her dessert to the one she thinks is most mean and might hurt her the most. Her goal? Avoid punishment. Obey the one who threatens the harshest punishment then. Might makes right. Stage 2. Personal reward or satisfaction orientation. According to Kohlberg's research, there is a slight shift of emphasis as children pass from stage 1 to stage 2. Now an act or omission is assumed to be good, wise, and right as long as I get something out of it. What's bad, stupid, and wrong? Well, there's nothing in it for me, so why bother? The child's thinking has moved from an emphasis on avoiding punishment to an emphasis on gaining some form of reward, some form of personal satisfaction. Think about this scene. Teddy, who has a big bag of popcorn, is 7 years old, and his sister Diane, who is 4, has some ice cream. Teddy's father says, share some of that popcorn with your sister. At stage 1, Teddy would refuse or would only do what his father says if threatened with punishment. You share that popcorn or I'll take it away from you. At stage 2, however, Teddy might be more willing to share if, and only if, he gets something in return. I'll give her some of my popcorn if I can have some of her ice cream. The key word is if. While he is still primarily thinking of what's best for himself, he is beginning to be aware of others and their needs. Another example might be a high school student who says to a friend in homeroom, I'll let you copy my math homework, but only if you let me copy your Spanish assignment. The person's reasoning remains heteronymous, that is, it is still governed by somebody else's values, whoever is offering the reward, and not by principles such as generosity or sharing that he or she deeply believes in. The bumper sticker for this second stage of moral reasoning might be, I'll scratch your back if and only if you scratch mine. The individual is seeking some form of concrete, tangible satisfaction or reward. Now imagine a child whose moral reasoning is stage 2. He assumes that an act or omission is good and makes sense only if he receives some form of reward or satisfaction from it, as we've seen. The child is well behaved in school and does all his schoolwork because he's been promised a new bicycle if he makes the honor roll. Now imagine what happens to this child if in one way or another his parents let him know that they're very proud of his behavior and his good work, but that he's getting too big to be rewarded each time he does what they expect. The rug has just been pulled out from under this kid's feet. He may say to himself, rats, no more rewards. Why should I bother then? To heck with them. But on further thought, he may revert back to stage 1 reasoning. I'd better keep on doing well or they'll punish me. But there's a third alternative. He might begin to reason in a significantly different way. He may begin to reason in the conventional way.